They went 5-7. Mel Tucker is still the head coach. We expect him to return next season, I guess, but is it kind of like a do or die time for him right now?
No, he has that big contract extension, and I don't think he'll go anywhere anytime soon.
Okay.
It's kind of similar to like Mark D'Antoni in his era too. 2016 we didn't go, all the other years we went bowling, so
Yeah.
schedule sets up nice for next season. Maybe there'll be another tunnel fight
Yeah,
with
absolutely.
Michigan.
We could go ahead and what's that?
Maybe there'll be another
I
tunnel
think
fight
we
with
had our
just might give a tunnel fight in.
yeah.
You hear about that?
So let's go ahead and yeah, we can hear you. I'm sorry, I just kind of cut you off.
So you hear about the tunnel fight?
So I did not hear about the tunnel fight. What happened there?
So one of the Michigan guys was trying to get back through to the locker room to use the bathroom, I guess, and was saying stuff, and Michigan State just went off on him. 7 players were charged.
Oh,
Yeah.
actually, now that I think about it, I think our good friend Nate the Great has brought that up before. I think I do
Yeah.
remember the tunnel fight from last year. So, um, anyway, let into um this schedule because we're trying to preview all Power 5 teams this offseason, and I guess we could talk about last year. Um but I am curious your thoughts overall about the schedule this year and coming up.
I like this year's schedule, actually. You get Washington at home, which is a team that pretty much set you on that spiral, and we had not won on the West Coast for a good while. None of the Big Ten teams, except Minnesota, has done it.
Right. So you
And
open up.
Michigan should have out in 2020, but that was COVID year, so
Mhm.
that went down the drain.
So you open up this year. So last year, for those that maybe don't remember or know, so you opened up last year with a team in Michigan. You open up this year with a team in Michigan, in Central Michigan. This year, you had teams last year like Akron and Washington, and of course, then you had the Big Ten slate. Um, Central Michigan, Richmond, and Washington for your non-conference. You think it sets up pretty nicely?
I think it does. You might go 2-0 into Washington. Depending if Washington will be a primetime game, I think we can go possibly 3-0.
Yeah, you open up with your first four games being in East Lansing at Spartan Stadium at home. Before you go on the road to at Iowa, you get a bye week at Rutgers, Michigan, at Minnesota, Nebraska, at Ohio State, at Indiana, and then Penn State. I honestly, I mean, I don't want to say you have to rule these teams out, but I think it's most likely Michigan's going to be a little bit better. Ohio State's going to be a little bit better. Penn State's going to be a little bit better. Outside of that, I mean, Well, um, outside of that, the schedule sets up nicely, and you guys should be able to hit a good record this year and make it back to a bowl game, or get back to the standard of hitting a bowl game after going below 500 this year.
Yeah. I think part of it had to do with Jay Marie being in and out.
Yeah. So, what can you tell us about the recruiting and the upcoming class that you'll have as far as freshmen this year?
The three guys I like are Bob Job, Andrew DePate, two outstanding defensive linemen who are in the pass rush, in which Michigan State needs help in that department. The third guy I want to highlight is Jordan Hall, four-star IMG Academy guy, hard hitter. Kind of reminds me of the Bullet brothers.
Okay.
Kind of reminds me of them, and also kind of reminds me a little bit of TJ Watt.
Interesting comparison. You said that's for who?
Jordan Hall.
IMG Academy, Bradenton, Florida. A lot of big guys come out of there. He is built 6'2" and a half, 225. He's a 4-star, 164 overall. You know, when you look at guys like that, being ranked kind of low, but also top 200 player, I guess you could say. Um, you know, it's when you look at teams like Georgia and Alabama, they would like to get better than that. But I think for where Michigan State is, number 22 overall in recruiting a top 25 class, that's actually really good and a really good pickup.
That is, especially with how last season went too.
Yeah. So, um, I guess what do you see as far as the returning um, players and the roster? What players do you like that are coming back, and what players do you expect to step up on the field this year?
This year, I'm hoping Noah Kim can get quarterback.
Hmm.
It is a open competition between him and Peyton Thorne and Caden Hauser this year. I feel like Trey Mosley and Kenyon Coleman are going to be the 1-2 punch this year. I like Devontae Smith and who's the other guy for the Eagles?
Which one? You talking about receivers?
Yeah,
Let me think.
Devontae Smith and I think they're both
Oh,
kind
it
of
slips
behind
my
it.
mind, man. I can't think. I can't think
Yeah,
tonight.
yeah,
I don't know.
but they're kind of like the Mosley's more of the go up and get it, and Coleman's more of a speedy guy. Kind of, he almost looks kind of like not like Antonio Brown in a way, but has that speed.
Hmm. Yeah. So it looks like you have quite a bit of depth on the roster upcoming this year. I should probably I'll sort it by position because eligibility is like one of those where you would think more experience is what's going to play, but that's not always the case. But it looks like you got quite a few wide receiving weapons. Talk to me about that group. Who do you want to see step up this year?
This year, it's gotta be Keon Coleman, Mosley. Do I just highlight again because you think about it, Coleman and Keon Coleman kept us from getting shut out in Columbus in the 21 season.
Yeah.
Also, he also played basketball, and he just is more into football. And Coach Tom Izzo was supportive of that decision as well. Mosley's kind of like a Julian Edelman, speed demon.
Right. Okay. So what's your assessment of Mel Tucker and the job that he's done so far? And obviously, you guys let Mark D'Antonio go a couple years ago. You bring in Mel Tucker, who was formerly at Colorado, if I remember correctly,
Yeah,
and um, he comes in, just the culture, the atmosphere, the environment. I mean, obviously, you want more wins throughout the season, but I think part of coaching an aspect is to have a great environment. Has he provided that in East Lansing, you think?
yeah. You think about what he had to come into. There's no spring practice at all. There's no fall camp. No over summer camps at all. Practice a little bit canceled. Practice a little bit canceled. We did manage to go 2-5 in 2020, but he likes to call that a trial run. He got kids out who needed out and brought talented in. Anybody remember Kenneth Walker III?
Yes. Seahawks guy now.
Yep. I mean, I never seen a defense just not want to tackle him. As
Right.
long as as long as Rush was 94 yards against Rutgers for a score. First play of the year was a 75-yard touchdown run by him at Northwestern.
I got you.
And he actually broke a record in the Michigan game. Most jars by a Spartan in a Michigan game. You can state for I don't know how many years it was. It was like
Yeah.
22 carries, 196, and 5 touchdowns.
Oh, wow. That's really good stats.
That's against Abe Hutchinson and Chris Jenkins Stone.
Yeah. One thing that sticks out to me real quick, get back to kind of the incoming guys. When you look at what you've brought in through the transfer portal, you bring in, I'm sorry, a long snapper, a defensive lineman, and Tunmise Adelaide. Jaron Mangham is a running back. Jonathan Kim is a kicker. Dre Butler comes in from Liberty. You brought in Jarrett Jackson on the defensive side. Basically, what I'm saying is you bring in a lot of guys, especially on the defensive side from the transfer portal. Is that something that has needed to be done this offseason is to go into the transfer portal, or do you prefer that Michigan State kind of works with what they have?
I think it's got to be the portal. Because God knows how bad that defense looked at times last year.
Yeah.
I think the long snapper is from Michigan.
Let me see. I got it pulled up here. Um, he's from Ohio State, Mason Arnold.
Okay, he's an Ohio State guy, though, yeah. Because
Yep.
a couple years ago, we got Ben Van Sumeren from Michigan. Then we got his brother Alex Van Sumeren, who's still on the team. I expect him to get some playing time this year.
Yeah.
And who's the kid from Auburn that Was it Tank Brown that transferred?
This year I don't see anybody from Auburn. You got someone from Auburn?
Yeah, for the 21 season.
Let me see. I could go back and look. Um, because I'm actually curious now because that's one of the in-state teams here. You had Ronald Williams from Alabama. Um, you had Harold Joyner, who's a running back from Auburn.
Harold Joyner. Yeah, that's his name.
Is he
Um,
someone that you expect to step up?
yes, especially with him now being a defensive back this year.
Oh, defensive back. Okay.
Yeah, they flipped him that this year.
Right.
I think Robert Williams can make a name too. Last year would have been a lot better, but like I said, you had two of your best players go down your first game, like Xavier Henderson.
Yeah.
And some of our other linebackers also went down. Tariq, no, it's not Tariq Scrouch. I mean, when you look at, hopefully, there's one thing about Kinnick Stadium that I love. That's how they do the way to the kids of Iowa City's Children's Hospital.
Yeah, that's beautiful, man. I've always admired that.
I have to.
Yeah.
When you think about what, at least it's not like a rivalry kind of. But it's
Right.
not, yeah, it's one of those things that it's nice to do. It
Yeah.
probably
And you get them. You actually get Iowa at Kinnick Stadium on September 30th.
first away game. I feel like that that's another nickname where teams gonna die.
Yeah.
Anybody remember Ohio State in 2017?
Hmm.
I
Penn
loved it.
State, I think, has lost there
There,
recently.
they lost there a couple of times.
Yep.
When you get these teams that all you have to do is stop them, and Iowa's one dimensional, but they got their own quarterback this year, Kate McNamara and Eric All, both
Yeah.
from Michigan, go to
Yeah.
Iowa.
Yeah. That was actually. I don't. I don't want to say surprising, but it was very intriguing. Their choices to transfer from Michigan and stay in the Big Ten. They must love the competition. Um, do you think that that's part of Michigan State? And I'm sure you follow up on like the conference realignment and everything going on.
Yeah,
Michigan State plans on staying in the Big Ten long term, right?
yes, as far as I know.
Cool.
And one thing I like about the addition of UCLA and USC is we don't even have to watch the Rose Bowl because we're going to have to play in it, kind of.
Yeah.
And Michigan can't back out of that contract like they did this time.
Right.
And I feel like there's a couple teams on my list that may not make the playoffs, and it's got to be Ohio State.
Yeah, no, I mean they lose C.J. Stroud, Jackson Smith, and Jigba. I think they lose a running back too. They lose quite a bit to the draft. So as good as they recruit, they're going to be young, and I really don't expect Ohio State much to. I even think I had them 10-2 or something like that. I mean they could probably hit 10 wins, but I don't expect them to do much as far as the playoff.
I don't even have them going 10-2. I got them between 5-7 and 7-5.
Wow, that bad?
Yeah, it's just the inexperience at quarterback.
Yeah, that does
I
hurt.
mean, Penn State's no easy task. Even though Notre Dame on the road's gonna be a fun environment. You got the Air Raven, Western Kentucky, who's gonna be a fun team. And I think you go to Purdue, too.
Yeah,
Remember last time they went to Purdue?
2017, if I recall, and they lost.
Yeah, that was, I think that may have been 18.
Yeah. Um.
At least there's no Rondell Moore in this game for Ohio State.
Yeah.
And if Michigan State lives up to our expectations, we could beat them in Columbus.
Yeah. No, absolutely. I think that um, there's going to be some teams taking steps back this year in the Big Ten. But also, you have teams that are going to take steps forward, like a Michigan State. Probably, well, I don't know. Sean Clifford's out at Penn State, so maybe they take a step back. I really don't know, but I really think Michigan State has a chance to do better and be better. And if they could do that, that helps Mel Tucker out quite a bit.
And I think if you have the quarterback competition throughout the spring ball and a week in the fall camp, and then you say this dude's starting, that could really be helpful as well.
Yeah.
April 15th is the spring game, I believe.
Yeah. So talk to us about the spring game. What do you look forward to watching in that, and what position should we keep an eye on?
Quarterback competition for sure. The kicking as well. We need a kicker.
Yeah.
And it's no easy task either. Gonna have a kicker since Matt Coughlin and Michael Geiger. Those two are great back to back.
Yeah. And this year you have Steven Rusnak,
And then we got
if I'm
Jonathan.
saying that correctly.
Yeah. And then we got Jonathan Kim too as well.
Yeah.
I was fortunate enough to go to the Penn State game too.
This past year?
Yep.
How was that?
It was fun.
Good, man. I got a chance to I got a chance to go to the Alabama Vanderbilt game, and it was my first time going to Bryant Denny. So um, it was really something special for sure. I got to go with some YouTube buddies, and we got to meet up, and we just had a good time. So, do you prefer college football in person, or do you like to sit and watch it at home where you can hear the announcers?
It depends on the weather.
Yeah,
If it's like 20 degrees and snowing, I prefer to be there in a t-shirt and shorts.
yeah,
A lot of the people just can't take the heat,
right.
especially like places like Arizona. How do you live? Like, what are your thoughts on Vanderbilt improving?
What's that?
What do you think about Vanderbilt going bowling, maybe?
Yeah, haven't looked at a team like that to preview, but I like Clark Lee. I think he's a good head coach, and I think that he's got him on the right path to continue improvement throughout the next few seasons.
I feel like if there's one coach on the hot seat, it's Billy Napier.
Yeah, yeah, right.
Uh, You lost to Florida State, you got dumped, you got beat by Vandy, and you just got obliterated by Oregon State. Almost got shut out. And one of our guys who got knocked out in the Ohio State game is okay.
Yeah,
Did you see that hit?
I did. It looked really brutal, and um, yeah, I hope he's. Is he okay now? Like, do you have updates on him or?
He's okay. He actually came back near the end of the game. Ohio State players were helping him give him to the cart and into the ambulance.
Yeah,
I think wasn't it Henderson who hit him?
I don't remember who hit him. I just remember seeing the hit.
I think it was Henderson, and he came over and shook his hand, and you like to see that.
Yeah,
Not how you want to, but then we had that. I'm sure y'all heard about the shooting on Michigan State's campus.
I did. Thoughts and prayers go out to those involved, and
Yeah.
uh, I I remember hearing it first. I heard it on the radio on is actually 93.7 here in Alabama is a Christian radio, and there's a lady whose name is Kim Adams. She has her show from like 7 to midnight, and she was talking about it when it had happened. So I've just been, you know, or I haven't been, but I was praying for them when it had happened, just hoping everybody's okay.
Yeah. I mean, people from throughout the city and state were offering homes and things like that to the kids.
Yeah, that's good.
We played Michigan that Saturday and got beat. But Tom Izzo, he's what's the face of that he's been here since 98. He's always been there.
Yeah,
He's been our kind of like our rock through this whole tragedy. And Juwan Howard, the Michigan basketball said after the game, quote, if they wanted to cancel this game, we'd be fine with it.
yeah,
And the support that we got was really good. We got to see Michigan guys wearing Stand Strong with MSU t-shirts, Michigan band, learned our alma mater and stuff.
yeah. So I'm looking here. Obviously, recruiting seems like something that's on the rise. It seems like it's an improvement. But when you go to Spartan Tailgate, which is the Spartans 247 website, um, you go and you look at that, you have a top 10 all time commit in this year's class, and by Job,
Yep,
who's 4-star edge. Do you know anything about him?
he's kind of like he reminds me of the Shlee Calhoun, Malik McDowell duo.
Okay.
Tall, lengthy, rangy. He also is kind of like our first big defensive line commit since Malik McDowell.
Yeah.
And I wouldn't be surprised if he started a little bit mop up duty.
Okay. Yeah, everyone has to. Uh, how do I want to put this? There's always competition in the off season. No job is given; it's earned on the field. So
Yeah.
I don't know. Maybe he could earn a spot out there. Maybe he'll get some good playing time. That's a guy I might keep an eye on for you. And um, yeah, we'll just keep an eye on him
Any questions so far?
in the chat.
Yeah.
No, nobody's in the chat, and we honestly we only got one watching currently. I probably should have promoted this a little bit more, but I guess I really don't have any more questions other than I'll let you have the floor. What else do we need to know about the Spartans before the spring game, or even just before the season starts in 2023?
Well, if you're interested, we could do a post spring stream too if you're interested.
Yeah, always. I
Yeah.
mean, it would be cool. I'm gonna. Is the spring game? Is it gonna be on television?
The Big Ten Network.
Okay, I might have to record that and watch it. Um, yeah, I'll have to definitely check it out. And if I have any questions, I can write them down, and we could do
Yeah.
a post spring for sure.
Yeah. And especially we can take comments too, questions as well.
Yeah, absolutely.
We beat USC yesterday in the March Madness.
I was watching that with my grandmother. Yeah, that was a good win. You almost didn't make it, but you guys are a really good basketball program. Tom
Yeah.
Izzo is a great coach, and what he's done is phenomenal. And you guys, I don't know, could you make a deep run? That's something to look at. When do you guys is your next game like tomorrow or Monday or
Tomorrow,
something?
tomorrow at 5:15.
Let's see. Oh, you play Marquette. That's gonna be a tough one, but you guys could probably take care of it.
Who do we play them?
Marquette.
After Marquette, if we win that one.
Oh, that's where the bracket has to come in here. Um, let me see. You will play the winner of Kentucky and Kansas State.
I'm hoping Kansas State. Because we beat
Yeah.
Kentucky once already.
Yeah.
Well, I'm gonna get off of here, and you have a good night, bud.
Yeah. Thanks so much, man. I'm gonna end it.
All right, see ya.
See ya. All right. Thank you guys so much for tuning in. If you're watching this back, thank you for watching it back. Hopefully we got a little bit of good insight on Michigan State. As far as a record prediction for next year, like I said earlier, it can be anywhere from 5-7 to maybe 7-5, 8-4. So at most, I would probably give them a honestly, I'm going to give them 7-5, but it's possible that it could be 8-4 if they pick up an extra game or two. I love you guys. Gonna get out of here. God bless. Y'all know what to do. Like and subscribe. Jesus loves you. Peace.